This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, a talented artist with local roots joins us to talk about hometown Easter traditions and more. Hello everyone and welcome to FYI News 13. I'm Ken Kara. Thanks for taking time out of your day and hanging out with us. Here's your headlines from FYI News 13 and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. For members of the Christian faith, today is Good Friday. It is the most solemn day on the Christian calendar, commemorating the crucifixion and death of Jesus Christ on the cross. Father Gregory Finn is the pastor of Holy Annunciation Parish in Hazleton.
On Good Friday, we will walk with Jesus the way of his suffering and his crucifixion and death. We will seek to do it by various devotions in our parishes, but particularly the liturgical way of the cross, usually in the afternoon, the hours between 1 and 3, where actually historically Jesus' crucifixion took place.
Earlier today, members of Holy Annunciation Parish took part in an annual Good Friday tradition, a procession throughout the streets of Hazleton recreating the crucifixion and death of Jesus Christ. The Easter holiday is also synonymous with many different ethnic food traditions. One of the popular traditions here in the Hazleton area is Easter pie. However, while we may think this is a tradition shared in other places, Congressman Lou Barletta tells us that he was surprised to learn that his fellow members of Congress were not aware of the tasty tradition.
You know, you realize how lucky we are coming from an area that has such strong traditions as we do here in Hazleton, and sometimes we take it for granted until you talk to other people and realize that they don't share those same traditions. So Easter pie is something that I thought everybody had, only to find out people look at me very strange, and when I tell them everything that's in it, they don't get the same result that I get, and tell them you really need to taste it. I can't explain it the way that as good as it tastes.
So then the question is, will you be taking some Easter pie back to Washington after Easter?
No, I'm not sharing any with them since they don't appreciate the tradition. There's just not ever enough Easter pie to go around to take it to people that don't value the experience as much as we do here at home.
So they have to come to Hazleton if they want to try it.
That's correct. They would have to come to Hazleton if they want to try any Easter pie.
I'd like to keep watching this video, but I guess we have to move on. Whatever your traditions this Easter, everyone here at SSPTV wishes you and your family a happy and blessed Easter. For members of the Jewish faith, tonight at sundown marks the start of the 8-day festival of Passover. Passover commemorates the Israelites' exodus from Egypt and their transition from slavery to freedom. The celebration features the festive meal known as the Seder and also involves the retelling of Exodus through stories and song. Everyone at SSPTV would like to extend our best wishes for a happy and blessed Passover to all of you who are celebrating. The holiday season is a time for many to gather with family and friends and talk about old times and memories. FYI's Lisa Sugart had the pleasure of talking with a man who puts those memories into writing.
He is a Hazleton native, a writer, living in Europe, teaching in the UK. You see his name in the Hazleton Standard Speaker at least twice a month. We are so pleased to be here with Michael Apicella. The Easter holiday quickly approaching. So pleased to have you in our studios to talk with us. You were recently at the Hazleton Art League for your show, and you write a lot about tradition, about deja vu and things of that nature. What are some things now with the Easter holiday approaching that maybe traditions that you're celebrating over in the UK that you got from Hazleton, Pennsylvania?
Lisa, thank you for having me on the show. And yes, we have a lot of traditions. People watching this program right now may have actually entered our little Standard Speaker Easter recipe competition. And that competition invited people to send Easter confection or pastry of any sort, sweet things. And my wife and I have been eating this stuff. We've been making this stuff and eating it. In fact, I'm going to have to go on a little bit of a diet after
Where
this
were our samples? You were supposed to bring some, the divinity egg.
I ate them in the car. I ate the divinity, and I hope there's none stuck in my teeth. But honestly, we lived in England, so I brought up 5 kids in England, and every Thursday and Sunday we had pasta. We had spaghetti or ravioli, meatballs, So we had all of the Christmas and all of the Easter cookies that you could think of that my mother and my grandmother used. So my wife, when she married me, she wanted to assimilate as much as she could of these traditions. And really, it's my wife, Judy, who was responsible for bringing up 5 Hazleton kids in Cambridge, England.
Very nicely said. I like that. So the kids know a lot about Hazleton then?
They know all the wrong things. For example, my eldest daughter has recently gotten engaged to an Italian boy from Milan. That's northern Italy. Well, my grandparents were from down in the Naples area, and so when she uses her Italian, he doesn't understand what she's talking about. And it's not all swear words. I mean, there's the difference between northern Italian and southern Italian, and there's plenty of people probably laughing right now. They know. They speak a kind of a patois. It's not proper Italian. So that's working against them. For example, when they talked about scamuts or pits, this guy's thinking, wow, but what is that? He's an Italian.
We all know what it is, though,
Yeah.
because we grew up here. That's really nice. And the contest you were referring to, you're going to be letting out the winners' names this Sunday in the Standard Speaker, so we're not allowed to know until then. We'll all be reading it on Sunday.
We have 3 winners, and it was a very difficult decision, and I have to say that if you know the contest, the criteria was taste, satisfaction, overall satisfaction, and the third one was ease of making. And when we came to a 3-way tie, I had to say to my wife, well, which do you, my wife really knows how to cook, which of these were the easiest to make? And that's how we ranked the 3 winners. And Mark Catcher is going to be giving a nice prize to those 3 winners. And I hope we'll do this every Easter for as long as I'm associated with the Standard Speaker.
Well, I hope you'll come back and tell us about it as well. While I have you here, though, I wanted to ask you, I'd be remiss, you're so much a good promoter of this area. You talk about all the positive. What is your reaction now that we saw the castle, the old Hazleton High School renovated, and now we're looking at the Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress, trying to revitalize downtown Hazleton. So how do you think they're doing on all of this?
I'm very pleased to say that predictions that I was making years ago are now coming to pass. Like Fay town criers, I can't tell you the number of people who would tell me all the bad things about this town. And I would always say Hazleton is like the classic phoenix. That's from Greek mythology.
Rising from the ashes.
And they'd say, no, they said Hazleton's crashed and burned. I said, well, you don't know your mythology. That's necessary before it rises. And in my opinion, the Hayden Tower, the Castle on the Hill, the Wiltse Center, many other things going on that I can't list here are all evidence that this city is in for being born again.
Thank you so much for taking the time to come to our studios and talk with us. Give your family the best for a wonderful Easter. And if anybody wants to, go to your website or anything, where do they go to?
It's www, then my name, michaelapicella.com. Easiest thing to do is just put my name in Google and it'll come up.
Alrighty. Michael Apicella, the one and only, thanks for being here. And we can't wait to see who won the contest this Sunday.
Thank you, Lisa, for that interview. Scamuts, Easter Pie, and Pits, this is the best newscast ever. And remember, pick up the Standard Speaker this weekend so you can see who wins that contest, plus much, much more. Well, still to come on FYI, we have the Sportscast, where we'll have some bonus sports commentary from the Standard Speaker sports editor, Dave Seaman, and more. And after this break, there's no bunnies, but the animals being featured this week from the Hazleton Animal Shelter will still warm your heart. Stay tuned for Adopt Me.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
We're back here at Celebrations each and every Friday on FYI, talking with brides who had a phenomenal experience planning their wedding and having their wedding here at Celebrations. We're with Andrea and Matt Grotzinger, and they are a happily married couple. They got married in July of 2014. Right?
That's right.
That's right. You look very nice. I love how you color coordinate. Very nice for the program. So tell us about your experience.
Well, from the moment that we found Sand Springs online, I instantly fell in love with the patio and the water fountain outside. And as soon as we drove up, this was the place to pick, and we loved every part of it.
Okay. Now, you did a lot of custom design for your wedding, a lot of personalization. So talk about that.
Some of the things that we did is we spoke with Stacy and talked about different personal touches we wanted. We didn't want the regular cookie cutter wedding. We wanted to add our own touches to it because that's what makes it personal. And Stacy worked with us. We did a Viennese table with desserts, with recipes from our grandparents, some of those who are with us and that passed away in honor of them. She allowed me to come up, and any idea I had, she would allow me to come and see the space and see if it worked. And anything that I had an idea or a question about, she was always there. I could text, email at any time of the night, and it seemed like she got back like instantly, or the first thing, and as soon as I woke up the next day, I had an email back from her with answers to my questions.
So that puts you at ease.
Oh, definitely, especially when you're doing it all, like doing all the decorations by yourself. So, well, together.
Matt, you really like the fact that you had a lot of variety here when you were hopping from venue to venue inside the property of Sand Springs.
Yeah, absolutely. They have so many different places that you can rent here on the premises. I mean, we had our ceremony here out on the patio, out by the water fountain and everything out there. We went to the tent for our cocktail hour and then into the celebrations ballroom for the reception. But they also have a pavilion you can rent. There's all kinds of different options for your specific day if you want to move around. I mean, it was great to just have everything here. We had our ceremony, we got to go take some pictures. Our guests got to go to the reception, or the cocktail hour first, then we joined them at the cocktail hour, then we all came to the reception together, and everything just flowed smoothly. Nobody had to worry about what they were going to do between the ceremony and the reception. It was wonderful.
And the bridal suite.
And the bridal suite.
And the bridal suite, we also, right after we went up to the bridal suite, got a few hors d'oeuvres, had a couple minutes to just kind of, we're married,
relax.
just relax for a few minutes. Then we went down and joined everybody else. So it was really nice. And Andrea got to get ready in the bridal suite beforehand. She's got here
Everybody around me. So.
in the morning with all of her bridesmaids and stuff, and they got ready here, had some cocktails, I assume, some snacks,
Of course they did.
before the wedding. I was able to come around and just do what I needed to do and kind of center myself, get ready, and then everything just flowed perfectly. And there's a hotel a minute down the road, so it was great. It was wonderful.
Well, I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you guys. I wish you many years of happiness and health. Thank you for sharing your story here at Sand Springs.
Thank you.
And if anyone is looking out there, you are getting married, or for any function for that matter, please call Sand Springs here at Celebrations.
It's time now for your FYI community calendar for this Easter weekend, and 2 free community Easter dinners will be served this weekend in our area. The first one is on Saturday from noon until 2 p.m. at the Community Bible Fellowship Church at 458 West Spruce Street in Hazleton. The free dinner will be available for eat-in with limited seating available. There's also takeout available, and you can also get delivery. You can call 570-436-2061. And then on Easter Sunday, a free community Easter dinner will once again be served at Catholic Social Services at 214 West Walnut Street in the city. The dinner will be served from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. All right, here comes Adami.
Again, and here I have with me Jasper. Jasper is a young Beagle Jack Russell Terrier mix, approximately 1 to 2 years old, so he's got a lot of life and a lot of energy in him. Jasper is neutered and up to date on all of his shots. He also tested negative for heartworm and Lyme, which is all good news. We're not sure what he's like with other animals, so anybody who would like to adopt Jasper and has a dog of their own is encouraged to bring the dog down so we can see how they get along with each other. Beagles and Jack Russell Terriers are very active and intelligent dogs, so we recommend somebody with a yard or somebody who has time for long walks with this little guy, because he will need a lot to stimulate his mind. That's it for this week's dog. Let's have a look at our cats. And here I am with Baby Bear. Baby Bear has actually been featured on the show before, but we figured we'd give her a second shot and show her to the public. She's a young adult, maybe about 9 months old or so, just over her kitten phase. And she actually came in with 2 other siblings who have been since adopted. She's the last of 3 who came into us about a year ago, and she is already spayed, up to date on all of her shots, and has been tested for feline leukemia and FIV. Baby Bear is very friendly and affectionate. She's also very playful, and as you can see, loves to be held. She gets along really well with other cats, so we recommend her not only for experienced pet owners, but also first-time cat owners would be great for her as well. So if anyone at home is interested in Jasper, Baby Bear here, or any of the other animals we have, please come on down to the Hazelton Animal Shelter here at 101 North Poplar Street.
Thank you, Chris. Well, tonight, FYI is brought to you by Boyer Insurance Agency. They have 2 locations to serve you, one in Cunningham on Sugarloaf Avenue, and their other location is in Nescapec on Broad Street. You can reach them in Cunningham at 570-788-3543 and in Nescapec at 570-752-7683. Sports is next on FYI.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
So on Thursday, we gave you some plans for your Saturday night, some suggestions at least, with the Hazelton Area Boxing Club exhibition at the Greater Hazelton YMYWCA. That's at 5 p.m. Well, if you're looking for something to do Sunday evening, may I suggest stopping by the Hazelton One Community Center. Earlier this month, we told you about a huge TV that was donated to the center thanks to State Attorney General Kathleen Kane and Luzerne County District Attorney Stephanie Salavantis. Well, they're going to fire up that TV this Sunday.
This is going to be the greatest thing. You guys have no idea the amount of great stuff we can do with this television behind us. But it's starting April 5th, opening day baseball, and you're all invited. It's free. We're going to show the Chicago Cubs, St. Louis Cardinals, the first game of the season, right here in this gymnasium, right here on that television set.
The game starts at 8:05 p.m. and ESPN will be there to record some video. So will SSPTV, so you'll want to get there early. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. There's going to be food and raffles, and Joe Madden's mom, Beanie Madden, will be throwing out the first pitch at the community center. Plus, there's going to be the Hazelton Way t-shirts. I'm going to buy 17 of them, so again, get there early. This all takes place in the gym at the Hazelton One Community Center, and it's all being put together by the good people at the Hazelton Integration Project, and everyone is invited. Also get pumped up because baseball arrives this Sunday night, and it features Hazelton's own Chicago Cubs manager, Joe Madden. I've been sitting on some quality commentary from Dave Seaman, keeping it all to myself, and I'm sorry, but since it's the Easter season and since my mother's probably watching, I guess I should share. Here's some gold from past Dave days. First, we talk about Russ Kanzler and some of his critics, and then we'll hit on pace of play in baseball. I looked for Russ's name on Twitter. I did a little search, and it seems a lot of the Phillies fans right now not too confident when they say, "Oh, we're going to have players like Russ Kanzler in the outfield. It's going to be, a down year." You think Russ could surprise some of those fans? They might be Russ Kanzler fans by, the time if he does get his chance.
Yeah, I did have a conversation with Russ last week, and Russ was very upbeat, not only for himself, and he's always upbeat about his own abilities, but for the team itself. He thinks the team could surprise people. A lot of people down on the Phillies, but he said they're professional players, and they know what's been said about them. They're using it as a chip on their shoulder, and Russ has always played with a chip on his shoulder. He's always had something to prove, and the Phillies have the chip on their shoulder, so to speak, and so we'll see what happens.
Dave, let's talk about minor league baseball. They're going to implement some pace of play rules this year with timers, and if a pitcher isn't in his windup or motion with 20 seconds in their countdown between innings, the inning will start with a 1-0 count. A lot of rules. I think the pace of play has to speed up in Major League Baseball. I'm a Red Sox fan. I've watched some long games. When I was in my early 20s, I used to love it. Now, I just, when it's a regular season game, I think the pace of play could be sped up. So do you think this works in baseball? I mean, there's a lot of rules here. I don't know if I agree with everything, but something has to be done, at least at the Major League level.
I agree at the Major League level. To do it at the minor league level, a lot of those games are short to begin with. They're 9 innings, but a lot of times when you have postponements, there are 7-inning games, and there aren't that many TV timeouts and the stoppages in play for whatever reason. But I think it's going to be more beneficial on the Major League level, and like you, I like to see the game sped up. Used to be a time when you used to sit and be able to watch a baseball game, but now it does take a lot of time, and I think sports fan today likes to see the action, and maybe that's why baseball attendance has dropped off in recent years. I don't know. Maybe it's something we can ask Russ Kanzler about too.
I think, Dave, between those innings, maybe it's more advertising because, listen, they never had these rules before and the game seemed to go through. And I know that they don't want to lose money, but that seems where it's at. So they're changing things for players. I know David Ortiz earlier in spring training was not happy about it and then came out and said, hey, I'll play within whatever rules. So I shared my Dave video I had on my computer, but you're not getting any of my Easter pie or smidgen, so don't even think about it. In fact, here's a distraction, the one and only Ron Marchetti with Short Shots.
Happy and healthy Good Friday, everybody, and welcome to Short Shots on this April 3rd, middle of Easter weekend. Tomorrow might be a good day to roam around. With that being said, the Hazleton Historical Society has an open house tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Enjoy a day at the museum, a neat place to visit. You will be impressed. Admission is $5, $3 for children under 12. Wisconsin, Kentucky, Michigan State, and Duke make up this year's Final Four. Wisconsin and Kentucky will meet tomorrow, and so will Michigan State and Duke. The two winners will then clash for the NCAA championship on Monday night. This tournament has been great as usual. The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat was evident in so many games over the last couple of weeks. However, one of the most agonizing losses and most thrilling wins took place on that first week in this year's tournament. In all, the NCAA tournaments that have been played, a game's outcome never hinged on a goaltending call until this year. It happened in Louisville, Kentucky. SMU coach Larry Brown has been involved in more basketball games than almost anyone on the planet. A head coach for 40 years, the 74-year-old Hall of Famer was ousted in his first NCAA tournament in 27 years with a memory he'd never forget, following an ending he had never seen. Leading by 2 points with 13 seconds left in a second-round game against UCLA, SMU senior Yannick Moriera was called for a game-deciding goaltending after inexplicably grabbing off the rim three-pointer that by Bryce Alford, son of UCLA coach Steve Alford, former Indiana All-American, which gave the Bruins a 60-59 win in one of the most bizarre finishes in tournament history. The controversial call was not reviewable. Trying his hardest not to break down in tears after the game, Moriera struggled speaking. The play ended the 60 Mustangs' 27-7 season and his career. UCLA defeated UAB 2 days later to make the Sweet 16, but the Bruins took it on the chin from Gonzaga last Friday night, ending their season at 22-14, worst record in the 64-team tourney. But that goaltending call will surely be seen on one shining moment after the title game on Monday night. On a sad note, Hot Rod Hundley, a former All-American basketball player at West Virginia, former NBA player, and TV commentator for many years, passed away last weekend. Enjoy your Final Four Saturday, and happy Easter, everybody. Till Monday, stay loose.
Be happy, it's Friday, and go to Bottlenecks for half-price happy hour starting at 6 p.m. They have live music and half-price appetizers. About 6 hours until I can eat Easter pie with a clear conscience. I just can't wait. Well, have a happy Easter, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you again on Monday. Take it easy.